What's up, YouTube? So before we get started with this video, on the Get Up, they're going to be talking to Charles Barkley and how he thinks there's no way the Golden State Warriors are going to be able to win a championship without Kevin Durant. So let's see what they have to say about that.
When Kevin Durant first got hurt, you said, and I was 100% with you, that they wouldn't beat Houston. They wouldn't win a series without Kevin Durant. Now, all of a sudden, here they are, and you could almost make an argument they look better without him. I wonder what your perspective on that is. What do you think we're seeing from these Warriors playing without their best player?
Well, I think they played 3 fantastic games in a row. But anybody who thinks they're going to win the world championship without Kevin Durant don't know anything about basketball. Number one, this Portland Trail Blazers series is not over. I was totally shocked the way the Blazers blew that game last night. But they're not going to beat the Milwaukee Bucks without Kevin Durant.
So I'd like to know, what basis does Charles Barkley have to say that Golden State won't be able to beat the Bucks? What basis do you have that? I mean, so they've won before. They won it. The Golden State Warriors won a championship before without Kevin Durant, and they pretty much have the same team they had the first time they won. Well, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, Bogut was there, I think, Iguodala. So you have all these guys, the original characters from when they won the championship the first time. They're still there. So I don't understand why you can say they can't win. And for two, I think people were spoiled with having Kevin Durant be with the Golden State Warriors, and everybody was deferring to Kevin Durant. But the Golden State Warriors themselves, they knew that they could still ball out without Kevin Durant, and they showed it. Because as soon as Kevin Durant went down, they went right back to Plan B, and they went back to the Splash Brothers and all the original crew, taking off and going right off from where they were before Kevin Durant got there. And everybody was saying that there's no way they're going to beat the Houston Rockets without Kevin Durant. And what happened? They beat Houston Rockets. As a matter of fact, it didn't even go to Game 7. They got them in 6. So to say that they can't win is just ridiculous. And to say that they won't be able to go against Giannis and the Milwaukee Bucks, I think the Golden State Warriors will treat Giannis and the Bucks just like they treated the Houston Rockets. Now, everybody knows that, James Harden was up for MVP, and so was Giannis. So I think they'll play Giannis just like they played James Harden. I know they're different players, but they'll treat them as far as being a star caliber type player that you need to watch out for and play him in a certain way. That's what I think they'll do to Giannis. So I don't know. Let's keep going.
You think that the way this thing shapes out, however it shakes out, the crowd was chanting MVP for Steph last night. Do you think that has any impact, any influence on KD's thinking as he approaches his future, whatever winds up happening the rest of the way?
Listen, man, there's so much bogus BS out there now. I have no idea what any of these free agents are going to do. I mean, it's almost laughable now. I hear from somebody's camp where Kawhi is already gone to the Clippers, or KD and Kyrie are already gone to the Knicks. I have no idea what's going to happen. I think it's going to be the craziest summer in NBA history. I can't wait to see how it plays out. But listen, the Warriors, Steph and Klay have been fantastic. But listen, the Warriors are not going to win the championship without KD. I hear some of these guys getting on TV spouting off, talking about there's better ball movement, all this other stuff. Hey, they played 3 really good games in a row. Well, let's don't write the Trailblazers off first and foremost. But let me tell you something. I've already told you, the Milwaukee Bucks are going to win the world championship, and I'm sticking by that.
Hey, check out.
So just by default, you should be going with the 2-time defending champions. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. I mean, you have no basis to think that the Milwaukee Bucks are going to beat the Golden State Warriors. I know they're deep and have a squad and all that, but until the champion is dethroned, then it's kind of hard to argue against them, especially when the West is way more harder than it is on the East. And you can ask LeBron James about that. Because Giannis might bump into the Golden State Warriors and he might realize what LeBron James realized for the past couple of years, that the Golden State Warriors are no joke. And then you kind of had a cakewalk going through the Eastern Conference. Because what are they right? What the Bucks right now? They're 10-1. So first round they swept Detroit. Second round they went 4-1. I forgot who they played. And then now they're up 2 on Toronto Raptors. So they're kind of having a cakewalk going to the East. Look at the Golden State Warriors. They're having to fight through the West. Look how much they had to fight for against the Houston Rockets. Now I know Kevin Durant went down, but they took off and they took care of business while he was gone, and they went right back to the original Splash Brothers. So I don't know. I don't really see any reason why to think that they can't do it. So let's keep going.
I know that you have Portland, get into the championship game as well. Does it bother you watching Dame trying to guard Steph, running, chasing him around all day, every day, and still having to do so much on the offensive end as well?
Well, Dame, Jason, one of the reasons I picked the Blazers is I think they got the best bench in the NBA. And I think one thing CJ and Dame have to do is they got to trust their bench. They got to trust Entis Cantor, Farouk Amino. They got to trust those guys because you are going to get worn down. And, when you're a star, you have to pick and choose. What I mean by that is when you're up 15, 16, 17 points like they were last night, that's when you rest. That's when you try to make plays for the other guys because you conserve your energy for the last. When your team has a 10, 15-point lead, I used to just chill out and let the other guys do their thing. And then they didn't have anything down the stretch last night because they used so much energy the entire game.
So as far as Damian Lillard and CJ McCullough trusting their bench when they're out, that I can see that, but that's where experience comes into play, and that's what the Golden State Warriors have. They've been to the championship so many times. They trust each other. They know how each other operates, and they know not to panic. And as far as the Portland Trail Blazers, I don't think they necessarily don't trust each other, but this is the furthest they've been in a championship for a while, going to the Western Conference Finals. So they might still be kind of new to this. They're still trying to get their feel for how they should be playing and how things should work. But the Golden State Warriors, they're well seasoned. They know what to do. They know to trust each other's bench. They just know each other. They have better experience. And I think that's why they're going to beat the Portland Trailblazers, among other things. And as far as Charles Barkley talking about, I used to just chill out when the other guys come in, we have a 15-point lead. Well, maybe that's why you haven't won a championship. You never won a championship because you over there chilling while the other teammates were maintaining the 15-point lead or whatever. Maybe that's why you never won a championship, Charles. I wouldn't admit to that. You should be saying you're going full speed at all times. Even when you're sitting down, you're ready, you're hyped up. You're not just sitting back chilling. So maybe that's why you never run a ring, Charles, and that's why Shaq always dumps on you about it. So, I don't know. Let's keep going.
Charles Barkley is with us here. Again, you're in Milwaukee for the Eastern Conference Finals. Game 2 tonight. Critical, obviously, for Toronto, trying to get one on the road in this series. As you watch it, what do you expect to happen tonight? And how about that matchup between the Greek Freak on one side and Kawhi on the other?
Well, those two guys have played better than anybody in the playoffs so far. Kawhi and Giannis, they have been the two best players in the NBA the first two rounds of the playoffs. Milwaukee was very rusty for game 1. Toronto deserved to win game 1. They outplayed the Bucks in game 1, but could not finish. But I expect Milwaukee to play a lot better tonight. They are terrific. Lopez, they got Malcolm Brogdon back now. I think the general manager of the Bucks did a fantastic job resurrecting their